Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a long break, but now we'll have our last best of three for the Starladder Season 9 America playoffs. It's EG versus Liquid, and only one team will advance to the Starladder Finals in Kiev. Now, we've had a little change, or maybe not even a change, but there was a miscommunication. That one-game advantage for the best of three finals was a mistake, a miscommunication from one of the admins to the team, to us, to everyone else, and it will just be a straight-up best of three, no winner's advantage. So the advantage that EG gets will be, well, they had to play less games to get here.
That sucks for EG.
It does suck a little bit, and it also sucks that miscommunication was there. They were understandably a little flustered in the lobby. Is that the proper word here? A little bit frustrated. So some flamethrowers were exchanged, and now we're going to get into the game. Not much else you can do about it.
Everyone was heated, but end of the day, admins made a decision. The tournament's moving ahead, so
Yep.
we can discuss it in the studio this weekend, maybe. But
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
for now, we're just going to cast the games.
So, okay, Liquid versus EG. EG were the team that knocked Liquid into the losers bracket to begin with. Liquid feeling fresh off of that quick 2-0 over Team Dog in our losers bracket finals.
Maybe they're tired, though.
Maybe they're tired.
One of the
Apparently,
games was super long.
well, during the break, apparently Jimmy took some time to go out, hit the gym a little bit. He was tweeting that getting some of that cellular core flowing, so hopefully he's coming back fresh, ready to...
He said, you know, I worked on my back. Hopefully it's strong to carry Liquid to the Kiev Grand Finals.
So predictions, Merlini, what do you think?
I think EG will not mess around at all. They'll go super serious, unlike yesterday in their first game, and 2-0. Liquid, they were good, but not EG level good. They didn't make that many mistakes, but their play still needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, EG's upset. EG are still the heavy favorites to take this series. Last time they played Liquid, they dismantled them, and they've just looked consistently like the better team. Today, they beat Empire 2-0. I cannot stress enough how impressive that is. Empire has arguably been playing, if not the best in the West, then definitely top 2 or top 3, taking down the likes of Alliance in the past. They've had great series versus Na'Vi. They've beaten pretty much every top European team, and EG just wrecked them in D2L. So we'll see, but I think EG are, as long as they don't tilt too hard, are still the favorites here, but I wouldn't entirely count Liquid out. There's always the demon stand-in factor.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm going to go with 2-1. I think EG will still take it, and for a couple of reasons. One, I think EG are playing on just a little bit of tilt right now. PPD just tweeted a few minutes ago that I'm losing my cool, man, and apparently someone tweeted back, well, maybe you should let your manager, Charlie, communicate here and you can just focus on, I think it was Gods that tweeted that, and you just focus on winning. And unfortunately, Charlie is at physical therapy with fear right now. So their manager has his hands tied with one of their other players. So tilt might not be something that's totally out of the equation here. Whether they can wipe it off or reset before the game starts, that's another question, but definitely a little bit heated. Also, the initial best of three, earlier on in the bracket when Liquid got knocked down, Liquid did take a game off of EG.
True.
It was a 2-1 series, and in that particular series, first pick was the indicator of success.
They did take the one game, but Liquid had to scratch and claw for that one win, and EG just crushed them in the other two games. So
yeah,
I think overall EG looked a lot stronger, but like you said, maybe it comes down to the draft. Liquid get a better draft. Also, they had TC on support. I think Liquid are much stronger with TC on carry. That could make a difference here as well.
Yeah, very true. With the with the position changes, Liquid are even more of a wild card than ever. How important is first pick going into this series, Ben? Do you think it was just sort of a fluke that the EG Liquid initial series in the first round was based on whoever had first pick also won the game, or do you think first pick is really that important with these two
I think
teams?
it's coincidence.
Okay.
I mean, it's...
So then who would you suggest Liquid ban out if EG have first pick?
They ban out... they don't have a... I think it's a big deal because they don't have that strong of an Ember or a Naga player. Because they kind of have to ban those out because
And
you
then
don't
you
want to
give away
Lycan. And then you give away Lycan, right?
Yep. Or
So,
Darkseer,
I mean, they could just
perhaps.
try Tree. I don't know how well versed they are in it, but Lycan...
I mean, EG can also draft very diversely. Today they ran OD mid, Treant support, Darkseer. It almost reminded me of the metagame before Starladder Season 8, where there was a lot of OD solo mid, a lot of Mass Midas gaming. Sigma was kind of the outlier. They were going for their Bade Marana combos, but
I think EG's flexible enough
diverse.
so that it doesn't really matter. Even if you ban out Ember or Lycan or Naga, you'll still probably have trouble winning the draft against them. So I don't think Liquid's as flexible as EG is when it comes to that.
And the one game they did lose was that match we referenced earlier where Koikva did a solo mid Nature's Prophet. Arteezy went for a solo mid Morphling, and it was a really greedy. I think he started with no regen, just trying to get a fast bottle, and he got zoned out by the Treants, and it was a total disaster. And that put EG kind of on the back foot to let Liquid take that game. But Koikva solo mid Nature's Prophet could be something we'll see in this series.
I guess that makes him 2-0 on the solo mid Nature's Prophet. Small sample size, but
still not something we see very often.
I'm approaching max level of tilt.
So there you go. I guess I was on point with my assertion that tilt may be a factor in this series.
I mean, he's...
As the lobby not... I don't have a monitor here. Was there a DC or what's the...
Demon, we failed to load. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Demon disconnected. Apparently Steam crashed, failed to load.
Okay.
There were some Dota 2 network issues like
Oh, boy.
20 minutes ago. I'm not having any now, but I guess
So-
he's reloading. So
Are
we are
they-
waiting on Demon.
Are they still arguing, or why is PPD hitting the critical
Well,
mass
because
of...
he wants the game to start.
Oh, he just
They're
wants to get
already-
into it, get it
they're
over
really
with.
mad already about the...
Zai says, I'm on a tight schedule here. Please hurry. PPD, I am approaching max level of tilt.
Okay. Well, to be fair for Zai, it is very late in the EU right now.
What about Koikva?
Yeah, Koikva, okay, there. Fair enough.
These are Dota players, man.
These are
Like, they
Dota players.
Half of these people stay up all night to play
I know.
Dota until 6 a.m. anyway.
Oh my
so.
gosh, it's 2
What
a.m.
What day? Well, don't forget, Zai is young. He probably has school tomorrow. He's like
Arteezy's young?
style.
But
Yeah,
I guess it's normal time for him.
it's yeah.
What about Koikva?
I don't
Koikva's
know. I don't know how
relatively
old Koikva is. Is he in high
I
school?
don't think he's in high school though.
Yeah,
Koikva?
high school is
he?
different than like college school.
Actually, I'm not sure. But let me do my research instead
But
of talking.
Zai
on
is
my ass.
definitely still like high school age for sure.
PBD's on tilt. That's the important part.
Yeah.
How can we get him more on tilt?
So.
Dota 2 networks offline.
How much is Liquid paying you for this?
I just think it's interesting.
You think it's
Sabotage.
interesting to see PPD
Captains are
tilted?
usually the
That's
most
terrible. Cool-headed.
cool-headed level people on the team, right?
Universe is like, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, they
Calm
more have
down.
like a universal like fear mentality. It's just like, whatever.
It's interesting to see the EG dynamic whenever like shit hits the fan, for lack of a better term, because you've got PPD who's trying to like argue like, no, this isn't fair, getting really mad because Starladder, they've already made their decision. Starladder is pretty notorious for when they put their foot down, they don't budge. They made their
This
decision.
was not, to be clear, this was not a decision. This was apparently a misinformed admin who
Right.
thought the rules were one way, were actually the other.
Well,
So they weren't like changing the rules.
I mean, the decision not to change it now. Like, that's what
Yes.
PPD was suggesting. Well, how about we do one game advantage in a best of 5? Or how about we do 2 best of 3s? He had all these different suggestions, and the lot said, no, we're not changing the rules. We're going to stick to the original plan. We're sorry for miscommunicating, but that's the end of it. So they can bitch and complain all they want at this point, but, Starladder has decided what Starladder wants to do. So it's, you
a
got...
lesser tournament would not get away with that.
Yes, probably not. So you've got PPD who's yelling at a wall right now. You've got Arteezy who's just linking song lyrics. He said, guys, it's Friday. I got to get up. Got to get ready to go downstairs. You've got Universe who's the cool, relaxed, just, come on, guys. Let's just play some Dota. And
Zai's
lot of
like,
it's
hurry
Zai
this
is
up.
like, I just want to go to bed, guys. I got school tomorrow. Everyone's on a completely different wavelength, but equally flustered, except Universe.
Part of it's the age thing. Like they've got some
Yeah.
some younger players, some more veteran presences, and generally the younger players tend to be the hotheads. I
Yeah.
would know. I was there once.
Yeah. It was
My
definitely...
family was the victim of many a loud night of screaming at my monitor, and then my mom storming down the stairs saying, "Why are you still up? Go to bed. You've got school tomorrow." But well, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does happen. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. There's nothing you can do. And sort of as Roland actually pointed out, Starladder, for them, it's all about EU, CIS. That's where they're based originally. So EG, they don't have a big bargaining chip here. They can't really do that. Well, we're not going to play. Starladder would be, okay, well, we'll see you later
Let's
then,
stick
EG.
Liquid.
We've still got a great tournament, and we'll bring Liquid to Kiev.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing EG can do besides just bite the bullet, buckle down, and focus on the game.
Yeah, that's the key for EG. The game has actually loaded. I think we'll be hopping into the draft momentarily, but
Okay.
forget about all that. They need to clear their heads, focus on the series at hand. It's a best of 3, 0 game advantage. They've beaten Liquid before in a full best of 3. They've beaten them several times in recent memory. They can do it again, but not if they're tilting. So they need to focus and just eye on the prize.
Yeah.
They've come this far.
I think if there's...
Good teams get over this stuff. They don't let it mess them up in game.
That is very true. I think the one thing that Liquid absolutely have to do, ban out Ember Spirit. That should be number 1 priority as far as I'm concerned. Keep Arteezy away from Ember Spirit. He's got a lot of
Funny you
scary
should
heroes.
say that, Andrew.
Well, speak of the devil. It looks like the draft will be coming up here in just a moment, folks. All right, boys, take it away.
Well,
Here we
Sayori, he warned them. He said, you'd better ban Ember.
I think they should ban Ember too. If there's one hero that I'm scared of Evil Geniuses getting, if I'm Liquid, it would be Ember Spirit.
Arteezy was wracking everyone yesterday.
I'm more scared of Ember Spirit than Lycan on.
No, it wasn't
EG.
yesterday. It was 2 days ago.
I've seen it in action. It is
Multiple
It is
times.
scary.
So, okay, they've given away Ember. Obviously, they know what they're giving away. What
Right.
is the game plan here?
Well,
Like, what are they going to get in return? There's no Lycan. There's a lot of good
they can
like
get like
utility heroes. If they,
AA and Dazzle.
we've
but
seen them running the Prophet. There's those strong supports like the Ancient Apparition.
There's nothing that's like really good versus Ember. That's one of the things about this hero. Like nothing really matches up amazingly well versus him. Tinker does like okay. I've seen some people try to run Tinker, but like overall, there's no like, oh my gosh, this hero crushes this hero.
Koikfo was actually winning his lane versus Arteezy, and then he got ganked, and the lane just fell apart.
Yeah,
The last time they
that's
played.
how it goes. It's like well, you make one mistake and you will just get punished so hard.
And he can be losing CS, but just sleight of fists, searing chains, and then you're just dead if there's backup.
Yeah.
Very hard to avoid that initiation. The other thing you can do is sometimes run like a Dazzle and just have him with an early TP. So when the Ember does dive, you TP him with the Grave, can turn it around. If he's before level 6, maybe you get a kill, at least to keep him alive. And seems like Liquid will go for the early Dazzle. So something to protect their solo mid. Minus armor, pretty good against Ember, I suppose, as he has low base armor, but more of just a good hero to punish tower diving. And another good hero to punish tower diving in Centaur. So interesting approach from Liquid. They
Yeah.
could have. This is also just respect to Universe. I mean, to be fair, we're talking about Arteezy's Ember. Universe's Darkseer has been disgusting. There's like been at least 2 or 3 big, like epic wombo combo highlights from Universe. Blink, vacuum, wall on 5 heroes. I saw the other day. I think it was in Dream League. This guy has been a monster in his own right. So Arteezy tends to get the hype, but Universe, very strong offlane player in his own right.
And a couple of times I've seen EG destroy with Ember Spirit. It has been Ember Spirit plus Darkseer. They just Ion Shell him and he goes crazy with Flame Guard.
Well, it's been EG support du jour. They've been running a lot of Treant today. They ran it in both games versus Empire. They'll pick it up again here. And that Treant Protector, I mean, it reminds me a lot of other teams that have those like strong snowballing solo mids. Like Godblack used to run it a lot. Who was his solo mid at the time? I think it was Scandal was playing solo mid, and they just like Scandal would just get out of control, start crushing the lane. It's effective if you have a mid who can really take advantage of it, but I'm surprised just to see Treant suddenly be so popular.
Me too.
Me 3.
He's decent. He's not game breaking.
EG seem to think that he's really good.
His effects are very subtle. Or I mean, sometimes you'll save people with living armor, but like being around the map it's also like people are less willing to engage on heroes just because of Treant, and this all these like site interactions that you can't really ascertain. Anyways, Centaur, Dazzle, pretty solid out of Liquid. They don't really have good lockdown for Ember though. Silence is usually the best.
They don't have Koikfa's hero yet. Puck is out there, although it's not really so
That's
much
not
of
a
Koikfa's hero, but
yeah.
it's either that or the Tinker is like the two probably best remaining heroes to lane against Ember /
Storm is really good,
Shut him down in
especially
the
if you can get
mid-game.
early Orchid. But Storm will be taken out.
Yeah, I think Storm's one of the better matchups versus Ember as well, because he can actually do a decent amount of harass. He last hits pretty well. He's got high armor with I think it's 5 base armor, so Sleight of Fist doesn't hurt him quite as much, but yeah, Ember still does a lot of magic damage. It's still not an easy matchup. Like you said, there are no easy 1v1s versus Ember. At best, it's a break-even. Well, the Tinker's out there. I don't know if they would go for it yet. It's not something EG run. They'll probably look to pick up like another support here. Maybe just a reliable carry for TC. Speaking of TC, he's known for his Lifestealer play in the past. Lifestealer out there, not so good against Tree, not so good against... Well, he's not bad against
He's
Ember, but
okay
just
versus Ember.
lacks the lockdown, I guess, is the main issue.
He needs Abyssal. I mean, but Armlet Toggle's pretty good too. It's just not the greatest lockdown, as you said.
So, I mean, I guess it's going to be an offlane Centaur, but they need one support, they need a safe lane farmer, and a solo mid.
Cloud9 likes a Drow versus Ember.
Liquid traditionally loves their Shadow Shaman. It's something we've seen a lot for Way 2. Do they want to run Dazzle and Shadow Shaman? It's kind of a greedy support duo.
You know, a hero I saw work against Ember Spirit the other day was actually Brewmaster. He's tanky enough that he can deal with the Sleight of Fist Bola harass.
And you can evade Sleight of Fist.
Yeah, and you've got that, what's the name of his passive with the dodge?
Drunken Brawler.
Drunken Brawler, that's it. It's not bad, something perhaps to consider.
If they're just trading
I
farm,
like Brewmaster a lot.
if they're just trading farm and they don't do something at the Brewmaster though, then it does favor the Ember. So
Very true.
that puts a little more. I feel like Liquid are more comfortable when they can take it late. Like when they run lineups that have to win early, they're just not inconsistent enough in the laning stage. I mean, this is a team that's been giving up first bloods like almost 50% of the time in the playoffs. So
I mean, it could even be like early push with Luna +1.
there you go.
Like, Chen, Dazzle plus Luna. I think they can try and end the game early versus EG, but most of the time it's just super difficult. Universe is really good at winning those engagements where they try and push up into EG's base if EG is for some reason behind.
Well, speaking of high ground defense, Batrider is still out there. Liquid already have their offlaner.
Oh, Batrider's really good here.
EG could be going for it.
They should pick Bat. Bat's traditionally pretty good for December too. Just being
Oh,
able
you're
to
saying
find
for
like,
Liquid?
For Liquid, yeah.
Oh, I was saying for EG if they just want to take it
Oh,
late.
yeah, that's true.
Would Liquid go for it though? It's not really. Quickfoot plays more of those like farming mids.
Right.
I mean, even like a Shadow Fiend. He had a great Shadow Fiend the other day
Shadow Fiend gets pooped on
by Ember. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they'd like need. They would basically have to park someone else mid. They'll go for the Nature's Prophet though.
Interesting.
I guess the nice thing is he's got the built-in TP. Ember has the one way to cancel it, but if you just start TPing out right away if you're ever in danger, can he actually burst you down in time?
I think they wanted like an early Orchid carrier because Storm's already out. Like Orchid is one of the best ways to shut an Ember Spirit down. And
Yeah.
Quickfoot traditionally gets pretty farmed on the Nature's Prophet.
And EG goes Shadow Demon here, so great setup for the Mirana. The last time, earlier today when they played Empire, they actually went aggressive right away into the enemy woods. I don't think they had the Ember, but they had like this Treant support in the offlane, and it was PPD. There was no wards in the enemy team. He's just like walking into mid and just killing the solo mid who was low HP. So don't be surprised if EG look to get very aggressive from the word go here. And shutting down that Chen's jungle early, definitely an important objective for them. Batrider ban. I like this ban for Liquid. If EG want to turtle and take it late, they won't have probably the best high ground initiator in Dota 2.
They can go with Clock if they want to. EG will ban out Doom. Doom's very good versus Ember.
Oh, that's another hero who's actually very good against him.
Doom and Drow, I think, are pretty good versus him.
Yeah, a lot of physical damage, silence.
Yes.
Silences in general tend to shut him
Silences
down pretty well.
Yeah, but no one picks like Death Prophet's very rare. Drow is only liked by Cloud9 really.
Yeah.
Skywrath support, no one likes.
Is this a Luna pick here? I mean, for Liquid, it synergizes well in terms of just being able to take towers early.
Luna's the obvious pick.
But EG do have Shadow Demon. They have Treant's Living Armor to slow down the push. It won't really help you for those early pushes where they're like 4 or 5, but it does help against the split push later on. They'll go Jug. So, well,
Jug's cool.
even more aggressive.
It's good for pushing as well. That healing ward does work.
Yeah, it synergizes with their lineup. And now the question is, can EG stop what's coming their way? They don't have a ton of counter push here. Sleight of Fists, I guess, being the main, but Shadow Poison's okay, but takes a while to stack up. They also don't have anything. Can you kill the healing ward while you're in Sleight of Fists?
I don't think you can execute attack commands.
Because you can pick up items, right? That was determined.
You can't attack. I don't think.
Okay. So they don't have a great way to kill the ward, I guess, is the one issue here.
Treant just smacks it. Easy.
One big branch.
Yeah.
Easy.
There you go.
Windrunner, I would like. Windrunner's pretty good. Good anti-push. Gives them a little bit of lockdown since they don't have it.
Timbersaw. There you go. Some big AoE to slow down this aggression. Very hard to gank here. Liquid are quite light on stuns. They've got the If Centaur doesn't get a fast blink, they have no initiation aside from Stampede. That is a concern for Liquid here. They have to get some good early push momentum going, because if they don't, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't gank Ember that effectively without an Orchid or a Blink Dagger on Centaur. And the same holds true, I think, for the Timbersaw and Mirana. So
I say EG's slight favorite in this particular draft. Let's look at our little thingies.
Just two very different approaches to the game. Liquid much more focused on early towers. EG more just like a turtle, get our core items up, spread the map, find pickoffs kind of draft. That's how I look at them, and I think the hexagons are mostly in sync with that.
Yeah.
There's a good bit of synergy between the tree and Ember as well. If he catches a good overgrowth, it makes Ember Spirit's time very easy with Sleight of Fist, and then also that's where the Flame Guard can really start doing a lot of damage as well when they're stuck in one place.
Flame Guard's strong. There's like no good way to take it off.
Yeah.
Well, EG, they're up against the Chen. They want to take control of the enemy woods right away. Here we go, guys. It's Liquid versus EG. The boys in blue versus the boys in blue. On the dire side, you've got EG. Zai will be playing the Shadow Demon. 2001, that's Arteezy on your Ember solo mid. Early Stout Shield, not rushing the bottle. Universe, the Timbersaw. PPD will be playing that support Treant Protector, Mason the Mirana. He is the stand in the one position for now, while Fear rests his broken arm. And they'll be going up against Liquid, who look a little discombobulated. Not actually leaving their side of the map just yet. Now they'll make their move a little bit. TC Heading towards the top side as the Jug. Demon standing in on the Dazzle. He had a nice back workout. He's ready to carry. Bulba, your Centaur. Wei 2 will be playing your Chen. And last but not least, Koikfa as the Nature's Prophet. He is going mid. It's once again the Null Talisman build early on.
Arteezy's Bane.
And he will be looking to just bash Arteezy down with that early high damage output. EG have taken over Liquid's jungle, but Liquid appear to be ready for this. They're actually running the aggressive tri-lane, so I think good anticipation from Liquid. They might have watched those Empire games earlier. Very similar approach for EG in that series.
Do you see Mason's name? Apparently he loves bad bitches.
I don't approve of the hearts. Like, your love life is not my concern. I guess there's no tattoos in Dota, so.
Universe? Oh boy, this is bad for Wei 2. Where are his supports? Looks like
he's gonna need to eat a tango here soon on the way back. Oh, this just could be a total disaster for Wei 2. In comes Demon. Well, he's still gonna lose almost all his HP. Universe is gonna dive this. He'll have to skill up Grave. He will skill it. Universe maybe could have kept on going for that, but doesn't want to risk it.
Super YOLO.
Yeah, that's totally. Well, they're forced to skill Grave in the aggressive tri-lane. He also got to scout the lanes out. And Liquid do have a nice Observer Ward.
And he forced him to skill Grave at level 1 too.
Yeah, he forced him to skill Grave.
That's awful.
Pretty bad start. They're looking to be a little more aggressive with this tri-lane. Because they should have the edge 3v2, but well, not going to happen now. In the safe lane, Bulba will be playing the Centaur. Oh, this is definitely a lane that can create some problems for him. Easy disruption into arrow initiation, and with Soul Catcher,
here it goes.
You'll chew right through his armor.
No disrupt.
No, not yet.
Zai has boots first too.
They could potentially go for a kill here. The one other lane I'll quickly glance at is solo mid. Koikfa on the Prophet. First few levels especially should go his way with the 66 damage to Arteezy only having 56 and 1 armor against a range 600 auto attack, 600 attack range hero. But as Arteezy levels up, I mean, we know what happens. The Sleight of Fist spam begins and the fun quickly diminishes. Wei 2 is just getting bullied though. Zai's gonna disrupt him. He's going for the Warcraft 3 surround here. Can't quite get it off, but he's just battering this Chen. He didn't get a creep top. His own jungle is just. Did he actually block his own camp? I don't think that blocks it.
No, I think he had a. Yeah, I think it was just warded at level 1.
Okay, so he dewarded it. Took him 2 centuries though.
Mm-hmm.
So Wei 2's off to a slow start. Demon and TC doing fine in the offlane so far, and Bulba was struggling bottom, but with the Shadow Demon's rotation, he's having a bit of an easier time. I am keeping my eyes mid, where Koikfa is doing a nice job against Arteezy so far. This is just an annoying matchup for early on for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Ember's still doing very well in terms of CS, so 9, but they're both sitting at 9, so he's not even doing that poorly.
There's an invis for Demon, but living armor makes this just a very difficult kill. Who do you think's more likely to get a first blood here?
I mean, it's more likely for Liquid supports to rotate because they have a Chen, so I would say Liquid.
I just feel like a lot of EG's other cores are just unkillable. Like the Mirana's never gonna die bottom.
Dazzle's looking for the courier, but nope, no chicken there, buddy.
And now it's gonna be 3 minutes, so an opportunity lost perhaps, but they might get a first blood anyway. They did not see this Bruin, and oh, Arteezy, he's gonna fall. That'll be your first blood. It goes to the Dazzle. Liquid off to a good start, and EG, that's got to be frustrating for them.
Yeah, it's all because they started with the offensive tri-lane, and EG, they had all their wards in the opponent's jungle as opposed to their own jungle, so they have no eyes on the Liquid supports.
Yeah, they just really wanted to completely shut down this Chen, and they've somewhat done it, but good news for Arteezy. Well, he gives up the kill, but he gets back to lane, gets the creeps, and he's still farming well. It's more just a big boon for Liquid. Less of a disaster for EG per se, but bottom lane, there could be an arrow here. It will fly, but just not well timed. Slightly off mark here with the coordination from these two.
Too many bad bitches in his life.
Not enough Dota.
He can't concentrate.
And you can't really just be harassing him either. With just this Bassi, it's not enough damage. You do not trade effectively with Centaur at that point.
No, you do not. Shadow Demon has the TP scroll in case Arteezy's in some trouble in the mid lane. Koikfa, they're still very even in terms of experience. I'm surprised that Koikfa hasn't pulled out ahead.
And Wei 2, after a very slow start, he hits level 4. So he's doing pretty well in spite of having to deward his own jungle, starting aggressive jungle, moving back to his own. I mean, sure, you'd be level like 5 or 6 if you'd been free farming and stacking AFK mode, but This is pretty good.
TC's going to get a big stack here, too.
Look at this aggression from Arteezy. He goes real deep on Koikfa. And Wei2 was thinking about a move. Show me your moves.
Going in deep.
And Demon's going back mid. It seems Liquid. You know, I remember when I was casting... Oh, Zai is spotting out Wei2. Just being a nuisance here, but... They might go on Arteezy. Will they get this initiation off?
He's not level 6 yet. This is the time to do so.
Sprout is there. In comes Demon. Arteezy is going to sleight a fist. He doesn't actually use the Searing Chains, and he'll fall again. Arteezy, 2 deaths to start the game. Living Armor. No, they thought they had it. They need one more auto attack. They get the kill with the poison. Oh, Liquid almost forgot about the Living Armor. It almost cost them that kill. So close. And it looked like Zai could not get in range for a disruption from the high ground.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he's just like standing up here, like looking at the Chen. Like if he sees him move back, then Ember can go back, but it's too late. I think he needs to be sitting behind RTZ there with a defensive disrupt as soon as Liquid goes on him, at least until he gets level 6.
So what I wanted to say is I remember I was casting with Winters probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and you know he played with Mushi for years, right? Knows the guy very well. And he said Zenith beat Orange every single time they scrimmed. It was like 20-plus games in a row heading into TI3. Courier actually almost died here, but it will live. Bulba gets his Tranquil Boots. And the secret was they always just went after Mushi, and once Mushi started tilting, the team just fell apart. So we're going to have to see if that's an issue for EG, but it seems like Liquid have a similar theory to approaching this game, this first game with EG. Just shut down Arteezy, and the rest will fall into place. Centaur gets dropped. They'll get in range here for a Troll Trap. No! I guess got fog because it's nighttime. Zai dropping low. They're still looking for the trap. Almost dead was Wei2, but barely survives. Well-timed disruption right as the Centaur ult went off.
Yep. Good one indeed. Koivo was too low to TP in.
And a pause from Liquid. They're up 1,500 gold, 1,500 experience.
This is bad.
Good start. Great stuff for Arteezy.
Ben, my question is, can Ember recover from this? He's died twice before level 6. That's the time when he's weakest. What does he need to do to recover here?
Stop dying.
The problem is there's not any
After
good
that.
like space creators. Like Timber's like okay at doing so, but if they shut down RTZ, who are they creating space for? Like who's getting the better end of it out of EG when Ember Spirit falls? No one really. So I think in a normal situation when you have a primary carry, like let's say they had a hard farming like I don't know, Morphling or something like that in a safe lane, I think it'd be okay because at some point they're going to have to focus the Morphling. But in this game, they don't really have to care about the Potom or the Timbersaw. The Ember Spirit is going to cause them problems in the middle late, and as long as they shut them down now, no one else really is.
No, we're back underway, guys, and looking at the other lane that's been kind of quiet, it is this off lane for Liquid where TC farming pretty well, but PPD will find an invis here. This one was spotted by Liquid, but they don't necessarily know which direction it'll go. The ping does come out. Koikfa playing very safe and is rushing a Midas, and with these 2 kills, sure he didn't get the last hit, but he's gotten the experience and some of the assist gold as well. Midas is coming soon for Koikfa. Pretty good Midas timing considering that he started Null Talisman, he got some branches, then he went Boots first.
Ember Spirit is finally level 6, so they can leave him alone at least for a little bit. Zai will buy some reserve rewards, probably play some mid. I think this should have happened a long time ago. They had the ward in the jungle to spot out the Chen, but Chen didn't really do anything. They needed to keep the eyes on the rotating supports from top. So I think Demon has been playing extremely well, wrapping around from behind, shutting down RTZ. He's level 5.5 too on the roaming dazzle.
He's already got an Urn. Urn on a roaming dazzle with boots and a TP scroll, and like you said, level 5 as well. You know, when you look at PPD, he's got nothing. 2 branches, almost boots gold. Maybe Liquid are... I guess the main thing for them now is they'll get this Midas up on Prophet. Bulba probably going to work towards the Blink. Liquid, even though they've got a good pushing lineup, I don't feel they're like quite ready to push yet. Wei2 doesn't have his ult. They don't have any Arcane Boots, and this is a team that will need at least 1 set. So I think Liquid will just be content to sit back. Sure, they're trading farm with a pretty good late game lineup, but they don't really have all their core items to force the 5-man pushes just yet.
Yeah, Midas plus 1 item on Nature's Prophet definitely need the mech, and that's still going to be some time. Let's see what Juggernaut is going forward. He probably needs the drums, too.
Who do you think builds it? Does Prophet go mech this game? I feel like he's more of their one position.
It's definitely Chen. Chen hasn't died yet. I think Nature's Prophet gets like Shadowblade Orchid, something like that. Okay. Juggernaut gets drums, and they try and take EG down in the mid-game.
Arteezy, he's diving Koikfa, but Chen's going to be here to back Koikfa up. Centaur gets dropped. Arteezy went for the big play. Another death. 0-3. 0 assists, 0 kills. And now Liquid just in a perfect position to transition into a push mid. Koikfa, he doesn't have a... They already... I mean, they have their tier 1. He could summon trans, TP out, TP scroll back in, and this is a tower down. That's a really costly death. There is a glyph available. Timbersaw has a TP. Looks like EG want to contest, but this will be a difficult defense. Very difficult.
Healing Ward doing some work, Tree Armor doing some work, but yeah, Arteezy has died 3 times. Liquid knows exactly what they need to do. Just shut down Arteezy, and EG is just scrambling to defend, scrambling to get back in this game. How is the gold graph? Only 2,000 gold, so not the biggest deal in the world, but they need levels, they need kills, mostly.
It looks like the Dire ward here was placed first, so EG may know that Liquid have a ward there and be able to de-ward soon. That would be a nice boon to them. But I gotta say for EG, like you said, it's like who controls the tempo. If it's not Ember, Arteezy, he's found 2, but he does have a Spirit available, shouldn't die to this. He can Spirit over the cliff, he can go pretty much anywhere. He'll just head straight back. He's trying to bait. As an arrow connects on the Chen, on the Centaur. Not the real hero, just the Centaur Conqueror. But yeah, who's the Space Creator? I think it's almost the Mirana Ultimate that's got to be their form of initiation here. What else do they have?
Big. He has Arcane and Point Booster, and Arteezy will finally get a good rune for him. A Haste Rune, which they don't really have that many stuns, so Haste Rune is really good for him.
And there's no blink yet on Bulba, so no reliable lockdown, aside from maybe a Chen trap, if he's got a troll. They rotate TC mid now, and they'll move Quakefoot into the offlane. So Midas online, his early farm somewhat secured. They'll just make sure that Juggernaut gets some safer levels at this point. Hits level 7. He's gone for a single point in stats, but I imagine we're mostly just going to see a healing ward max from here. So Liquid, still waiting for some core items. The Chen you mentioned is going mech. They've already got the urn, so I think Liquid are pretty close to being able to 5-man push.
TC looking for a solo kill? Nope.
Shadow Demon's really hard to solo kill as Juggernaut. If he ever Omni Slashes, you just disrupt and it's pretty much wasted. Same for the Battle Fury. It's not an easy kill for Jug.
Not at all. Well, Shadow Demon still needs his levels, though. He's not yet level 6, not even level 5 yet. Treant Protector almost level 6, just a couple of creeps away. So it looks like they're just content to keep farming out Timbersaw, but I think Liquid has better late game, especially considering how underfarmed Arteezy is. He does have his phase boost, but it's 11 minutes in. Looking at Nature's Prophet, he has phase and Hand of Midas and 700 gold on top of that.
You know, I think my biggest worry for EG is also they haven't stacked anything. No ancient stacks, no neutral stacks. They'll go for a single stack here. This is, at least if it's not their first stack of the game, it's the first one they have ready for Arteezy to take. And whether it's him or the Timber for Universe, somebody needs to get fat this game because, as you mentioned, there's just not great. Like, there's not like a Beastmaster or a Clockwork to just go around killing heroes and breaking the game open.
Hopefully that's Universe, though. Universe has been a very big playmaker for EG.
But can he make those plays on Timbersaw, I guess is the question. Does Timbersaw really match up that well against Liquid? They've got a lot of AoE heal, Grave to keep heroes alive. Timbersaw more of like a sustained damage dealer, not really like a assassination type hero.
Yeah, I mean, with the Treant Protector, though, they just can't put out that much aggression. Arteezy is too underfarmed to do so by himself. Treant Protector is Treant Protector and Timbersaw, but he needs more heroes going around trying to kill people.
The good news for EG is the tower is pretty much back to full health, so the triple Centaur Conquerors move top, but sure, the tree not aggressive, but he is going to make it hard for Liquid to take those towers until they find kills. And I guess at this point, it's the Blink Dagger for Bulba. That's the main thing they're waiting for. Double damage picked up by Zai. And just a slow and patient approach. Nobody really forcing the fights.
Universe also has max Timber Chain. Sometimes you see the max Whirling Death, but the Healing Ward is also very, very nice versus Sleight of Fist spam that is eventually going to come.
Yeah, normally with Timber, you just get like the 2 points reactive armor. And mid lane, they've gone in on TC, but even with the Blade Fury down, he's got the Healing Ward here, and it's just not enough. Suddenly, Zai caught out. He sprouted up. The Stomp's going to come through. They came ready with sentries. Double Stomp. Easy kill for Liquid. And EG just don't seem to have answers for this Liquid coordination. They'll group up mid. They'll drop the Healing Ward, or, as they did earlier, and the problem is Liquid just can't transition these kills into pushes. Hand of God. They really want this tower. They'll even deploy a Hand of God for it, but EG are just hard to push into. I think with the living armor... Oh, what did I... Was that poison? Oh, I guess the poison ticked down the Mirana, who was diving bottom looking for Dazzle. Had TP'd out just in the nick of time, it looks like.
I did not catch that either. It looks like EG is going to smoke up the Universe and RTZ. Looking to get EG on the board here. 13 minutes in, still no kill. They will find Quakefa, though.
There's a Spirit here. There's actually 3, but they go the wrong direction. Now they know. They head back the other way, but Quakefa, will this actually hit him? The Chakram connects. In comes RTZ. The Sleight of Fist was on cooldown. He doesn't actually, the Searing Chains rather, doesn't actually get it off, but now he chases him down, finds it. It's a long dive, but they secure the kill. Universe now, no TP scroll, nowhere to go, and TC comes in. He's got an Omni Slash, the first stop misses, the second will connect. Omni Slash straight onto Artesia, but Living Armor's there. It's quickly broken by the Blade Fury. Way 2 joins the fray as well, but the Centaurs are blocking him. Not a very well-executed counter gank for Liquid, and meanwhile an arrow comes in from downtown. Mason hits it, but there was just nobody to follow up on that, so they'll back off in the end.
Nice moves from Ember Spirit to dodge that Centaur stun, though. I thought Way 2 had him cornered.
And that was without the spirits, just the fancy footwork. Imagine if he uses the spirit to dodge that. Well, EG showing some signs of life. End of the day, Universe is farming very well, very, very well. And at this rate, he'll have a Bloodstone in short order. It looks like about 600, 700 gold or so. But Boba has Blink.
Waiting for someone to come out on top. PPD's level 6, or level 8 rather. That's pretty high on Tritium Protector. We haven't really seen too much of him this game.
Yeah, we kind of lost track of him when they backed off of their early roaming, and I think mostly it was just getting levels in the jungle. But here comes the smoke. EG, they want to apply some pressure. Quakefa, probably the ideal hero to shut down. He's rushing Shadowblade. It really harkens back to the old mouse sports when Quakefa was much like Admiral Bulldog, the offlane player, but basically the carry player for the team. I guess they also had Black, but he just played like a very strong, at least secondary carry. Playing the Prophet, the Lone Druid in the offlane, and get a ton of farm. And going for the classic Shadowblade build.
Uh-oh. I think they're going to find him, though. Maybe. Nope. Smoke's going to wear off in 5 seconds, looks like. EG, Universe, and RTZ will
look at
not
this.
find Quake.
Midas Gaming. Liquid bringing it back. They'll bring it out on the Juggernaut. Not a hero who normally goes Midas. He's normally like you get your drums and you just start 5-man.
Well, they have better late game than EG. Ember Spirit is actually not that great of a late game hero.
Blink. There's a stomp as on Mason as well. But is there follow-up? TC comes in. He doesn't have his ultimate, but he Blade Furies. Nice disruption, buying him time. Very well done, but Mason will still fall. The Overgrowth comes through, connects on everyone, and suddenly it's just a train wreck for Liquid. 2 dead. Universe cleaning up. 3 will fall, and it might be more. Universe, will he go for the Quakefa kill as well here? On the backside, Arteezy found 1 more. That's 4 dead, and they're not done just yet. Universe jumping in deep. They've corralled him. It's an ultra kill for Arteezy. No. PPD with the huge Overgrowth turns the game. And I think we see Treant very strong when he's got these big AoE damage dealers to back him up.
That's that Treant Ember Spirit synergy I was talking about.
That is disgusting.
Oh, and the Timber Saw as well. Look at the graph, just straight down in the team fight recap. Oh boy.
That was a little bit deep. They almost got the Mirana, but very nice disrupt coming out from Zai. Very nice plays coming out from PPD to immediately turn that fight around. And just like that, EG, I think, has a pretty good lead. Yeah, the gold lead is probably just around even, but that was a big fight. And Liquid just a little bit overconfident. Yeah, they have minuses, but that's about it. Maybe once they get the Shadow Blade on Nature's Prophet, maybe once they get like the drums on Juggernaut, they can start fighting a little bit, but they're just 2 minuses. That's it.
And the thing is, Liquid running this pushing lineup, and I mean, sure, they've got decent late game, but Prophet, Dazzle, Chen, Jug, come on, it's a pushing lineup as well. Yet to take a tower. Tier 1's almost at full HP, Tier 1 mid's almost at full HP, and the bottom tower is actually at full HP. You rarely see a team with this many heroes that are good at just grouping up and pushing. We'll yet to have a tower, 17 minutes in, and EG, they win a fight, instantly the tower's down.
Indeed
it was 6 to, was it 5 to 1? I think it was 5 to 1, and now it's 6 to 6. Oh, how the tides have turned. And Liquid, they've got to be a bit deflated now, but let's see. Can they be resilient like they were against Dog? Will they be able to come back and respond after what looks like a
on
disaster?
the chicken. He wants to kill, maybe.
Quakefa teleports on, and he's not going for it. Just going mid.
Demon would.
Yeah. Demon definitely would have at least thought about it.
What would Demon do?
Arrow will connect on TC. He's got a Blade Fury available here. He's at full HP. The Healing Ward not yet killed off. He can Blade Fury, TP out if he needs to. Just keeps on running. And the Overgrowth. Now he TPs. Good patience from TC. Almost dies, but not quite. RTZ holding the line top. Trying to slow Liquid down. And he's just slashing through. Now he'll Spirit back. So armor gets dropped, and EG are quick to reply. They do not want to give up these early towers. And with the Sleight of Fist spam and the living armor, it's enough time. They're able to get back. Now Arteezy jumps in. He's found way to. He might pay for this. The double edge is there. The Centaur ult as well, but he goes in Biz. Prophet ult secures the kill. The Sentry Ward does get dropped in from the backside. Arteezy buys back instantaneously. He wants to rejoin this fight. Finds way to. Brings him down with another cleave. And well, in the end, it's a 1-for-2 exchange with a buyback. Not too shabby. They also got the Shadow Demon during that engagement.
And the tower will get denied by Arteezy. And in the mid lane, Koiko putting a lot of pressure on that tower. Oh, looks like he's going to face some resistance.
No, the TP gets canceled. Koiko's going to take the tower now. They were worried about some potential backup, I think. And, well, now the tower's down. That's 2 towers for Liquid. And they force an Arteezy buyback. It is early. It's not an expensive buyback. Also the one other thing, we didn't mention it, but Mirana bought back in the last fight, which I did not catch. So, just worth mentioning, I suppose.
Universe has his Bloodstone completed and 1,700 gold too. So yeah, they killed Arteezy a lot, but Universe is getting kind of big, and they don't really have good heroes to deal with the farm Timbersaw.
I think it's where you, like you said, the Prophet has to get fat, and either an Orchid or a Hex needs to be purchased pretty early on. They just need like a extra burst damage, some lockdown, the silence perhaps.
They have the Shadow Demon for that though too
to deal with it. That's true.
Yeah. So pretty good draft from EG, I suppose. I was like, can they really pull it through in the mid game? But after that one fight, it's pretty clear that they're right back in.
Yeah, and you really see the Tram Protector. The big change to him that hurts him is, in some ways, is the Overgrowth doing no damage. But when you have 2 massive AoE damage dealing carries like a Timbersaw and a Ember Spirit, then it's a very fearsome combo.
Indeed it is.
So do you guys think the Shadow Blade first on Koiko's Prophet was the right choice here?
The other alternative, I think, is the Orchid Rush.
Yeah.
Either or.
I guess he could have gone Necro 3 since they were wanting to push early, but
Shadow Blade's better for like the mid to late. If you go Orchid, you still run the risk of dying light, and they still have the Shadow Demon. Like Shadow Blade is a lot safer for having consistent farm, I think, throughout, and it's better for split pushing.
I also just think it suits this draft. Prophet is the natural 1 position. Jug kind of like a red herring 1 position in some ways. Sure, he can do a lot of effective damage if he gets off a perfect Omni Slash and has a ton of items, but in practice you're up against Shadow Demon, a lot of elusive heroes, Moonlight Shadow. It's quite likely your ult won't do that much, so that's where the Prophet being farmed is probably their best path to late game. So I think it's a decent choice.
Okay.
PPD will scale out TC.
Oh boy. TC is going to have some backup here. Way2's moving in for a send back from around the tree line, but
I think the more questionable thing is the Midas on Juggernaut. That's the one I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not terribly sure about.
I mean, what's
that
he going to
one.
transition to here? Will this be an Ag
Ags
Scepter?
is normally what you go next. Most players prefer just like getting tanky.
Yeah.
Well, they'll purge TC here. He can Blade Furia, just dodge some of this incoming damage. He has the teleport scroll, but he's waiting for the Overgrowth. Is he going to TP out? Not just yet. He wants to stick around and fight. Omni Slash comes through. Nope, not yet. The Stomp is there. Bulba joins the fight. Connects on 3. Maybe it was 4 heroes. Now Universe forced to retreat out. Another Ember Spirit Slash. So many Omni Slashes in this engagement. TC dropping low, and it's the double damager in for Arteezy, chasing everyone out of the fight. TC, one more right click, brings him down. Still alive as your Treant, and now just the Ember Spirit in the end. The one driving them all back. He's going to miss on the Searing Chains, but it won't matter. Demon gets corralled. 3 heroes fall. And honestly, Liquid are just getting outlasted in these fights.
They use so much on TC too. They use the Demonic Purge, the Overgrowth, they use the Arrow, they used everything to try and burst them down, and they still won the fight too. So I don't even think it was poorly executed by Liquid at all. They had the Blink Centaur Stomp on 3 heroes, but no one dies on EG. Timbersaw just runs in. He has 1500 HP, he has Blink, he has Reactive Armor, he has Bloodstone, and they just don't have that much damage right now.
Well, no surprises here. Another big win for EG. And the experience grab actually tipping EG's way for the first time this game, basically. They had a slight lead earlier, but it was very slight. And now they found Koikfa. He's gotten a bit cocky. The dust comes in, and it's an easy kill. Already a blink up on the Timbersaw. He picked it up a bit earlier. Now you do start to wonder. I mean, do Liquid have the late game advantage after all with the Prophet dying, the Juggernaut?
Ember doesn't even have any items. That's the scary part. He just has all these like tiny items.
He had a double damage run in the last fight, but yeah, no big damage.
Even this fight in between the T1 and T2, he just like demolished them doing with just no items.
A lot of that was Universe, I want to say, but yeah, still the Ember did quite a bit of work.
What a hero.
Blink in, Stomp is there, but Mason jukes away. He'll head north into the tree line and turns around for an arrow. It's going to connect on Demon as their follow-up at the ready. PPD, he could go for an overgrowth here, and he will do so. Connects on two. Suddenly, Ember's arrived, and Liquid getting a bit over-aggressive here. Now Bulba goes for a TP out. Is there an arrow? It's still cooling down. He'll die anyway. Too much damage. Liquid, 2 heroes dead. Just AG using their mobility to their advantage. Just having the Treant kind of walk around, bait some of these engagements. Arteezy can be everywhere at once, and, well, speaking of just being everywhere at once, look at Universe. Way behind enemy lines. Quickfoot did go for the Orchid, by the way, but with the deaths and with EG getting so many kills, is the Orchid going to be effective? They're getting tanky.
I don't think so. They can just living armor through it. They can just defensive disrupt, and the likely target is going to be Arteezy. It's going to be extremely difficult, I think, for Liquid to...
They're just a very strong defensive lineup.
Yes. And they still put out a lot of damage, though. That's the crazy part.
And with that Tier 1 falling top, they get a little more map control. Roshan might be their next objective. EG, after just a horrendous start, one of the worst I've seen out of them in a long time. Well, they're right back in this game. Goldgraph tipping to even, experience way in their favor. They go for a big smoke. If they find a kill here, that could well be the Roche, and that could just be, maybe not the nail in the coffin, but a momentous occasion for them this game. They'll find way to. Gets caught out in the jungle. An easy kill, and they'll get a Chen army as well. Oh, this is not good for Liquid. Not at all. They're just devouring these creeps on the chase. They'll bring down the full army. Probably a 500 gold swing going their way there. Between the kill and all the Chen creeps.
They need to get pigs, but EG's so good at responding to any sort of aggression that Liquid throws out. Like, they had this small skirmish up top. EG just kind of surrounded them. The fight up there when Liquid had that 3-0, or sorry, EG 3-0. Uh-oh.
Universe, he eats an Omni Slash, but the disruption's there. Zai already has a 4-step out, completely turns it. Maybe not, though. In comes Bulba. He wants to join the fight as well. They actually do get the kill on Universe, and now they look for Zai, too. The Purge is there, and they instantly retreat. They're worried about some rotations, and perhaps they should be. They found TC. The Bull has come out. Soul Catcher's there as well. Bulba blinking forward. Double edge in your face, he says.
That did not look like a melee double edge.
That was our range
That
double
was...
edge.
What? What the heck was that?
That reminds me of some of those like vacuum lassos that we've been seeing lately. Mason, meanwhile, bottom lane. Will Quick forget the solo kill? Is he going to pop at the fountain? He will! Liquid bouncing back, showing some backbone this game, but EG still, despite the deaths, Arteezy isn't dying. He's picked up a Maelstrom. This is, dare I say it, just a good game. Started off sloppy for EG, then Liquid started to struggle. These teams are going blow for blow.
These teams are much more evenly matched than we thought.
Although the last time they faced, it was just... The game 2 was close, but games 1 and 3 were just brutal.
Indeed.
Can Liquid do it? It's a fresh best of 3. Originally, we thought it would be a 1-0 advantage for EG. We were misinformed, guys, so if you're wondering, that indicator is not a mistake. Whoever wins this best of 3 goes to the Starladder Season 9 LAN Finals in Kiev, where over $200,000 in prize money is waiting to be claimed.
Man, if Liquid wins this first game, imagine how much on tilt PPD will be.
Yeah, PPD was already on tilt, but it's not over yet. EG will look for this defense. Can they go in to counter Arteezy? No, they're afraid of the counter initiation from the tree. Liquid learning their lesson from the Tier 1 mid, the earlier engagement. They'll just settle for the tower. Goes to Koikfa. Now the Orchid up and 4,200 gold. I mean, he had a few deaths, Ben, but in fact, 2 and 3, but look at his farm. He's 5k ahead of the Timbersaw. And that is not a tower advantage because it's 3-3 on towers.
Yeah, he is super stacked. How did he... I mean, he just got his Orchid, didn't
207 CS.
That's pretty insane.
I think he got 2 tower last hits. I believe he got the one... Did he get the one mid?
I'm not sure. He
he
died
got the
3
one bottom.
times, though. You don't expect that.
Yeah. Also has a lot of assists. And I think he's been spamming his ult to farm. Like, well, he just used it now, but I think he's been using it a bit more freely than some Prophet players will. Seems like Liquid just want to keep the lanes in as part of their game plan.
Yep, EG, they can't farm their way back into the game, though. Or they can't farm their way to victory. They have to fight. They have to kill Liquid and come out better on top of skirmishes. I think if it goes to a farm fest, Liquid will probably win out.
The one thing EG have going for them, though, is that high ground defense. They are like an AoE monster if Liquid overextend. So if Liquid want to siege, they'll have to be careful about how they approach it. We've seen them be a bit over-eager in some of those pushes in the earlier series versus Dog. It looked like they were going to lose the game because of it. I feel like if they make similar mistakes against EG, they won't get away with it.
Timbersaw has picked up a Yules as his next item post Bloodstone. Bulba is
good versus the
invisible.
Orchid, the Yule Scepter.
Bulba looking for someone to pick off.
Blinks there. Stomp follow up. The double edge comes through. Now the silence on Universe, but he's just going to Yules it off. Can blink out as well. Nope, not going to blink out. Now the Timber Chains here. Arteezy has arrived. He's already taken a lot of damage from the Centaur. Comes through, connects on through with the Sleight of Fist, then immediately spirits out. He's got one more Remnant here if he needs it. And now the backups arrive, but EG, are they going to look to go in? They're relatively low HP. Arteezy's used the
Why
Flame
is there a
Shield.
Observer Ward dropped here?
That's a Sentry.
No, there was an
Dazzle
Observer
just
Ward
picked
on
it
the
up.
ground.
Oh, I didn't actually see it. I'm blind. I looked at your screen right as it got placed.
Oh, yeah, and Demon's like, I'm just going to take that.
Was there a... No, there's no gems. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Shadow Demon tried to place one and it just got, I don't know.
Was it Jimmy's to begin with? Was it a classic Jimmy play?
I have no idea.
Put the ward down just to pick it back up?
Well, a fake back
Well,
by
it could be an
Liquid.
Ice Ice Ice. You know, he's in the past dropped his Radiance while sawing in front of his teammates, ends the sawn and picks up the Radiance right before they can just deny it or pick up, just to taunt them.
Oh.
But Ward's not. It's like, oh, you're a big man. You dropped your Ward. Real tough guy.
Team Maelstrom over here.
Yeah. What do you make of the mass Maelstrom this game?
They're just tired of the pushes. They don't have enough farm for Battle Fury on Arteezy, so they have to go for the next best thing.
Yeah, it makes obviously on the Mirana, but generally it seems like an Ember, the Battle Fury is the preferred build. I think there's still that issue with Maelstrom where you can't have multiple lightning procs going at once. But he at least gets one off every wave, and it does help clear the creeps out. PPD once again on the prowl. He's walked into a sentry. Wait, who's found him? Is there any follow-up? They Centaur ult. They're just going to dive him. Chen's going deep. PPD, though, he has found everyone. But is there backup? Sleight of Fist comes through. Universe joins the fray. This could be the Wombo combo. Oh. This could be it. This is it. 3 dead for EG. Just crushing through Liquid. Quakefa joins the fray. Tries to bring down Mason, but the disruption's there. It's 4 dead. PPD, another masterful overgrowth. It's a team wipe. Liquid, once again, underestimate the tree. And they pay dearly.
How did they not kill the tree there? If they throw an Orchid or a Sheep on him from Quakefight, he dies. And there's no overgrowth and there's no big turnaround like
Living
that.
armor mech?
That was ridiculous. He still should have died.
If they used the Orchid. I guess
if they used Orchid or Scythe of Vice from Quakefa, he would have died. And now EG will get Roshan. Pretty much no contest. That was ridiculous.
Wow. That's a huge swing
the
of momentum.
turn. EG. I mean, the way they can just arrive at fights from out of nowhere. They had 2 heroes TPing in when the overgrowth started.
That burst was just insane, though. Did you see how much damage they put out in, like,
This
3
combo,
seconds?
the Ember Timbersaw is just disgusting together. And, like, they're still not that far. I mean, Timber's pretty far, but the Ember has just a Maelstrom phase drums. He's not even big yet. He will be soon, though. 3k gold.
Also, a nice defensive disrupt from Zaya to save Mason.
Yeah, when he was... I think the soul burn happened while he was disrupted, so
Yeah.
didn't actually die.
Well, then.
Second time in a row, Liquid. It's just a single overgrowth from PPD. Well, if this is what he's like when he plays Tilted, he should play Tilted more often.
Yeah. What in
Jeez.
the world? Treant Protector.
Like you said, Liquid did make some mistakes there, but end of the day, EG still taking the fights. I mean, a lot of teams would say, you know what, our tree's dead, let's just back off, and they're like, let's go kill. Kill everyone.
Did he even die?
I don't actually know.
I
I got a little too excited during that.
don't know if he died. I saw him walking away with like
I think he lived.
300, 400 HP after an overgrowth. I don't know if he survived after that, though. That was huge.
Even if he died, I mean, he had already done his job, and that death would not be a costly one at all.
No.
Well now.
That puts EG solidly in the lead.
I think we have some BTS fans in this game, Ben. The 3 peaks have formed.
Ruh-roh.
EG and Liquid are going beyond the summit here in game 1 of this best of 3. There's more to come, though. No matter what happens here, no matter if Liquid come back or if EG sees the bull by the horns and go on to take the win, we have ourselves at least a game 2. Maybe a game 3 as well.
You know who hasn't made that much of an impact? I think it's Chen. Chen had a really early mech. He had it for this disastrous fight that happened in between the mid T1 and T2. After that, he hasn't even completed a Necro book. Like, I mean, I guess they have been trying to push and they haven't been that effective, but at the same time, I thought Chen would... He was doing very well in the early game. It just hasn't had any farm. I guess all of Liquid just kind of fell off, besides Quakefa. Quakefa's massive.
And now it comes to the stage of do they want to be trading farm? You mentioned earlier, it's fine if the Ember's not big, but the Ember's getting big. Aegis, Battle Fury, Maelstrom. One item away from just, maybe not one-shotting the Dazzle or the Chen, but very close to doing so.
He was like two sleight of fist will just destroy creep wave. I mean, look at this creep wave.
Yeah. One sleight of fist brings it all down to half. The second kills it.
Yeah, and imagine if those are heroes without the reduction. Jeez. Yikes.
Yeah, that's where they need mass arm. They do have the Dazzle. The Dazzle ult could be important in this game. That's a lot of plus armor potentially for Liquid. They'll go right in on TC here.
Do you see how much damage it is? It did almost 500 damage with just one sleight of fist. That's
Yeah,
insane.
he got a Maelstrom proc there as well, but it's still a lot. It's a lot of deeps.
The deeps.
The deeps are strong with this one. Arrow to fly. Not going to hit TC. He does have an Omni Slash here, but you don't want to waste on Ember. He'll just spirit away. Oh, now they do. Now they do. The Overgrowth comes in. They just need to kill him quickly. Do not let him spirit out if you're Liquid. Arteezy goes down, but there is an Aegis here. Do they fight him again? There's not a ton of backup. There's still a Juggernaut ult. Can he get it off? Hand of God comes out. There's a full commitment to go for these heroes. Arteezy, he's got a spirit across the ravine. He'll go for one more Sleight of Fist, then he'll pour it over. Bulba, Blink, stun. Oh, they found him with the Orchid from way 2. The silence is there. Is the follow-up there as well. Arteezy's dropping low. Another Sleight of Fist. He gets 1 kill, but he does go down. Well worth the trade for Liquid. Well worth it. And it was not...
That was a 3v5. Though.
Yeah. He did have Aegis, though. They had to kill him twice.
This is true. So 4v5.
And there was an Overgrowth to, like, slow things down, but now they found Zai. Liquid, this game, topsy-turvy, to put it mildly. Profitable, it's going to come in, but Zai forced us to the high ground. Now he's trapped. Can he TP out? He can. He's worried about being spotted here. There was an arrow that connected on Koikfa. Trance gets summoned. Oh, the Hex was still cooling down. Orchid, not available. Wouldn't have mattered anyway with the TP scroll, but they actually... I think I said that Way 2 used Orchid there, but it was the Prophet Orchid. It looked like Way 2 did, because somehow he just ended up on top of Arteezy. Must have gotten force-staffed across the hill or something. I don't even know. Somehow he was there.
Well, Liquid has still yet to break EG's T2s, let alone their base. So EG, yeah, Arteezy took a spill and Liquid came out on top of that engagement. But if Liquid actually pushes into EG, I think it'll just be a terrible, terrible fight for them.
EG are just so good at... I mean, they're just like one of... Maybe not the ultimate high ground defense lineup, but a very strong high ground defense lineup. Mass AoE, good lockdown. Heroes that use buyback very effectively. A Bloodstone on the Timbersaw. Universe, by the way, has 13 Bloodstone charges.
And the Shiva's almost completed. And BOTs. He is just like, what in the world? Fat.
His respawn time is reduced by 42 seconds. That's a lot. I mean, what is his death time right now? Probably like 60? It'll be a nearly instant respawn. They found TC bottom. This could well be a kill, but no, they go in instead on Way 2. They'll settle for a Chen kill here. If that's all they get, not too bad, but actually they want the 2-for-1. They'll be late on it. The Chen army dies again. Now the Chen is just like useless for his creeps at this point. I guess he's there for the mech and the send back. Maybe the Hand of God, but Ember just destroys these armies of creeps.
Koikfa is getting 6-slotted fairly soon. He did pick up a Mjolnir, so he will actually do a lot of damage now. 279 with a ton of attack speed.
Shiva's guard. It's just that if EG get off their AoE combo, like, I do not see Liquid living through it. They need to use Koikfa to find the pickoffs.
Yeah, they need pickoffs badly, but, I mean, EG's been doing a very good job of moving around together, making sure Liquid doesn't have any opportunity to pick them off. And as this game goes later and later, Liquid might get really farmed, but they still can't push into EG.
You know the other thing Liquid needs? Is they need a gem. This Treant Protector has just been all over them this game.
Yes.
Nature's Guy is normally something that, you know, people will just laugh at how bad it is, but I think PPD is showing us if you don't respect it, get a gem, or carry sentries everywhere, it would be pretty legit.
Looks like Ember's going for BKB. He's tired of it. Tired of the silence and the sheep.
24-second respawn, so pretty damn fast.
He needs more kills.
Yeah. We need to see like that godly tier 30 plus Bloodstone charge Timber. 7, 1, and 9. Universe. I mean, we talked about his Darkseer, his tempo controllers, but just showing us he's truly a jack of all trades and maybe a master of all as well. Playing much more of a farming and core role and doing a great job of it.
Yeah, he's a very flexible player. I guess the role I don't see him in very often is the mid role, but he's, I think, a pretty good support too. Well, so what does Liquid do now? They farm up. I mean, they already have all the big items up on Nature's Prophet. He's not going to get that much stronger after his next item, man. They're eventually going to get to the point where he might have too much gold, just like Pycat did in the Dog vs. Liquid matchup.
Yeah, that's where, I mean, who else is going to use the gold better? I'd feel like probably Bulba.
Yeah, Centaur is third, I think, in line.
Is Juggernaut even going to use the gold well? I mean,
it's better than Centaur. They need right-click power. Like if you got a Basher and Abyssal or something like that, but I don't know. He's also just going to die because they do so much damage right now.
I don't think he can go straight Basher yet. I feel like he needs one more item before he goes for it.
I mean, if he goes Scepter, it's all right, but I still
I'm
think
thinking
EG
more
can
like
take
a
it.
Butterfly or something.
Yeah, Butterfly would be decent. I can get on board with that.
Can dodge all the, well, not all, but a decent amount of the Embers auto attacks, and Juggernaut just doesn't attack that fast yet. It's decent attack speed, but you get the Butterfly, then you get the Basher, and you can actually permabash someone.
Yeah, I just don't know if he's going to be able to like get to Ember.
Farm
he
that
can...
much as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Shadows, take us. They're also looking to go in top lane, but they found Koikfa here. What? Oh, he missed on the... He must have missed on the Searing Chains there.
Nice dodge by Koikfa.
Looks like he was close enough to hit him, though.
I don't think it hits Units of Fog.
Okay. So he had to hit it while he was also Sleight of Fisted.
Yes. I believe it is a hit fog. I'm pretty sure. Not 100%. Well.
Doesn't say on the advanced tooltip, so if you're wrong, I don't blame you. Centaur gets popped, and they found Mason here in the woods, but, well, can Koikfa actually kill him with living armor there? Doesn't look like it. Now the arrow, the turnaround is here. Koikfa will dodge it, and this is where Prophet, sure, he's almost 6-slotted, but doesn't have the damage to actually bring him down. Even a Hand of God thrown out for this.
Yeah, Integrate, they are. They are super scared.
Better safe than sorry, though.
Man.
Giving up a kill on your one-position Prophet with 24k net worth, not something Liquid can afford to do at this point.
Definitely not. Roshan respawn will be a fairly long one, 2 minutes, 40 seconds-ish, and I think EG certainly has enough map control to go for it. PBD is just stalking Bulba.
They need a gem. This is just brutal to watch, but in comes Arteezy. He'll be looking for Bulba here. If he gets the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, well, there's still a sendback, actually. Bulba will be okay. I'm really surprised they have not gotten a gem yet, honestly.
Who do you think is going to have more damage on that in the game to heroes, Timber or Ember?
Depends how long the game goes.
Fair enough.
If it ends in like the next 5-10 minutes, I'd say almost certainly the Timber. If it goes another 20-30, probably the Ember. Especially at the BKB, he can just be a lot more aggressive about starting these fights.
Looks like Treant Protector will actually be the wielder of the gem. So yeah, I think Liquid definitely needs one. PBD is annoying. Like, they even caught him out with the sentry and he still died. So they just have to make sure that he can't get in the middle, can't get... they just need to kill him before he gets his overgrowth off, but at the same time, he's still pretty tanky.
I just feel like Liquid don't know what to do right now. You know, like, they had that advantage. They got...
I don't know what they do either.
Yeah, it's not to say that they should know what to do, but end of the day, they got to figure it out. And in a hurry, too. They
need to get ganks off with Nature's Prophet. I think that's the biggest deal, because if he has his Shadow Blade and he's not able to get ganks off, he's just going to have to replace it for another item sooner or later. And then eventually they can try and gain some map control back from EG and then maybe do Roshan. I think that should be the order of events for them. Juggernaut needs more farm, obviously. Centaur also needs more items. He's doing pretty good, though, in terms of net worth. He is number 6, just behind the Mirana. Actually, a lot behind the Mirana.
Yeah.
Mirana's
Bulba's it's just been his job to try and create space, set up ganks for his team. He has not been given much farm priority. And Prophet, well, he's like a vacuum cleaner. He just sucks all the farm off the map. TC, Butterfly's coming now, so I think this is where, like you said, his next item should most likely be an Abyssal Blade. They need more lockdown. The Scythe just doesn't seem like enough in most of these fights.
It's only a 3,000 gold leaf for EG, 4,000-ish actually, but it seems like a lot more.
It's like you said, even if it's dead even, how do Liquid actually just get into the base? And if they don't actually kill towers, they just get healed back up to full HP. Arrow just went through towards the Roach Pit. They'll deploy a sentry here as well. And they're going to strike the eastern route. They'll head up the ramp. Liquid looking to make their move up the second hill. They've safely done it. Now they'll look for the EG heroes. All on the low ground. Universe could well be caught out. EG, no vision of this just yet. And they're all hanging mid, but now they should get a little suspicious. They haven't seen anyone. Shadow Poison comes out. Did he see anyone with that?
I don't know. Doesn't look like it.
Now he's seen him, but now he's also been... Oh, they just used Scythe on the Shadow Demon. They got it back now. Not enough, but will they get out safely? Universe comes in, Liquid hesitate, and EG look to punch them. A great Centaur Stomp, holds Artesian plays. Now the Omni Slash comes through, good damage, but it's just not enough to kill anyone off. Universe dropping low in the midst of it, and Mason popping his BKB, but they're actually winning the fight. Liquid are coming out on top for now. Universe, oh man, it's too much damage. It's too much damage for Arteezy. He's brought down too, but now he's Scythed and Orchid it up. He'll actually fall. It was just the Orchid, not even the Scythe. 3 heroes on the run. Insta buybacks. I don't think he gets anything. Well, maybe they get the Roche, but do they get any kills? Arteezy? No. They don't get any kills. And immediately, Koikfa, they'll start pushing top. So even if EG take Roche, they'll pay heavily for it. Double buyback on cores. How did Liquid actually come out on top there?
I think it was just Juggernaut doing a ton of damage during Omni Slash. I mean, you can't just like ignore it. And they were fairly spread out. But they were also able to heal through the massive amount of bursts coming out from Ember Spirit and the Timbersaw.
For Koikfa. He had a Shadow Blade here. He never even bothered to use it until the bitter end. Universe will punish him.
That's an easy Roche.
And they get the Roche. It looked pretty good for Liquid. Thought they would just get the tower. And sure, they give up the Aegis, but it comes at a very hefty cost. But then losing the Prophet there, more of an even trade, I feel, in the end.
Yep. Timbersaw, still 10 Bloodstone charges. I think he's working on a Sheep next, too. And that is really scary. Juggernaut's farmed, but he's not farmed it enough. He is still 5,000 gold behind Timbersaw, even. And 10,000 gold behind the Nature's Prophet. I mean, he's a little bit ahead of Ember Spirit, but Ember Spirit can do way more with less gold damage, right?
At least, yeah, maybe not the single target damage of the Jug, but just way more, like, just wipe your whole team low. Or clean them up if they've been brought low by the Timbersaw. However, Zai is just making a super aggressive play here. Goes for some deep enemy wards. TC continues to farm. I think they just need the Abyssal Blade at this point. There's a BKB up on the Ember. He's a little bit too resilient. I mean, it just took them forever to kill him in that last fight. And it was after the BKB wore off, they finally managed to silence him, and only then did Arteezy go down.
Way 2 working on the Necro Book. TC, though, I mean, he's not going to be able to get his Bissell out at a decent time, though, because if he dies right now and he spends his gold on a Basher, then they can just win the game. Like, Koikfa does damage, but he doesn't have a BKB, so... Oh, actually, he does have a BKB. He swapped out his Midas for it, so... Okay, well...
Yeah, basically 6-slotted. I mean, maybe you sell... I don't know, your
sell
Orchid.
Shadow for a... I think you sell Shadow Blade for something, yeah. But still, he's getting to that point.
Yeah, it's that point where Prophet needs buyback. He needs to push out the lanes, but he also needs to give his team farm. It's a tough predicament. It is not easy for Liquid right now. EG have not won yet, though. It was another pretty close fight that turned into an EG win once they got the Roche and the Prophet kill. Now they get their Scythe. They've not fully broken Liquid Spirit yet, though. Liquid still retain their Tier 2 mid. Their base is still safe for now.
Actually, Timbersaw 6-slotted, too.
Jeez. What a farm-intensive game for these teams. Look at these creep scores. I mean, for all the action we've had, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like they've all been doing a pretty good job of keeping their farm up. And a lot of towers have gone down, too. Well, at this point, EG, the smoke will dispel. They'll back off, and looks like they're just content to farm with the Aegis. Get maybe one more item up on the Ember. Universe is pretty much maxed, like you mentioned. Could maybe sell the Yules later on, but I think EG are just not in a hurry.
They still have a lot more room to grow. Potom can still get another 2 items at least.
Oh, they found Koikfa in the woods. He's forced to BKB. And still they're chasing. They actually already used the Overgrowth. He BKB'd out of it. Now the Living Armor's there, and Arteezy wants to go back in. Remember, he's got Aegis Liquid. Can't overcommit. In comes Boba. Stomp is going to connect on 3, maybe 4. Now the Omni Slash onto Zai, but he disrupts at the last possible second. Stays alive, lives to tell the tale. And now the chase is on. In comes the Ember. Everyone's been brought low. This war of attrition ends one way for Liquid. If they don't get the kills quickly, then Arteezy will probably bring them all down. He falls now, but they've lost 2. They could lose more. The Aegis is going to pop. Koikfa cleans up a few, but will fall in the end. Another cleave through from the Ember, and they've now isolated Bulba. That's 4 dead with a Prophet buyback. As soon as Bulba goes down, Gem hits the deck. The Prophet's bought back, but he gets scythed up. This could be the end. That could be a dieback from Koikfa, chasing him deep. They hit him with the Series Chase. The commitment from EG. They've gone deep for this kill, and they get it. It's basically a team wipe here. 5 kills, including the Prophet, Death, buyback, die again. TC, I believe, the lone survivor, and now Liquid. I don't know if they can defend without this Prophet. This could be GG.
I don't think they can. Juggernaut, he's so weak without his ultimate, and he doesn't have a scepter, so the cooldown is a little bit too long at this point. Ember Spirit getting huge too. 5,000 gold. Universe can just literally suicide with Bloodstone. Just right-click it to heal up his teammates and BOT back in if he wanted to.
Well, the Juggernaut spot, or TP'd into the tower, just gets blown up, and this should prompt a GG from Liquid.
They played very, very well, though. I would say that they did a very good job of shutting down RTZ, probably his worst Ember Spirit performance that I've seen, but still he ended up with 11 kills at the end and recovered quite nicely. But I think EG, Universe, and PPD played extremely, extremely well. Like, they kind of... Oh my goodness. So, who do you think has more damage, Ember or Timber? I think Ember
at the
by
end, yeah.
far. I want to check. Timber 22,000, Ember 33. Ouch.
Yeah, I would say if it had ended at like 40 minutes, maybe the Timber was close, but
that's super scary though. Their burst was just insane. It was just that one T2 fight or fight near T2 where they were smoked and they just found PPD and then they just got completely demolished,
obliterated. Basically,
it was. Oh my goodness, that damage output is insane.
There was the 2 big team fights, right? The team fight mid, where they got wiped, and then there was the team fight in the Dire Jungle, where they didn't scythe the tree, and they just lost everyone at that point.
Yeah, definitely the 2 big turning points. The scariest thing about that for me is that's about as good of an opening against an Ember Spirit as you're going to get. RTZ started the game 0-2, and you could even tell he was a little bit tilted.
He was 0-3.
Well, yeah, and then that third death, that would have been a kill if he had connected with the Fire Remnants, but he whiffed a little bit. He used all 3 of them, they didn't do any damage to Koikva, and then he still committed for the kill. Usually Arteezy uses all 3 remnants like that if he knows it's a surefire kill and he was off the mark with all 3 of them. So, 0-3 to get things started. About as good as it gets, and then he gets phase boots. They turn the entire game around. It just takes one good team fight. He gets an ultra kill following up in that mid lane between the tier 1 and the tier 2, and they're right back to where they started. I still contend. Ban out that hero against Evil Geniuses.
I think in game 2 they
So
will.
what do you give away then? Do you give away the Naga?
Who was first pick?
Liquid has first pick coming into this game now.
Yeah, EG had
first picked Ember in game 1.
Oh yeah, that's right. So maybe they can take Naga for themselves, ban out, or take Lycan for themselves, ban out Naga,
take Lycan for themselves.
Ban out Naga and Ember.
Right.
Yeah.
EG's gonna ban Lycan though, so.
That's true. Well, but you still have to ban out Naga and Ember.
Okay.
I would rather deal with either Naga or Lycan than the Ember. That comes down to which EG feels like they're more comfortable dealing with, but I think Ember is the one that there is no comfortable dealing with that hero. He's ridiculous. Not just Arteezy's Ember Spirit. The hero in general is ridiculous. And those 2 together is just...
They had Orchid, they had Scythe, and he pooped on everybody. Timbersaw, too, is ridiculous. He should be picked more.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Universe just makes a lot of heroes look really good, though, but still, the hero's really strong.
Yeah, Timber's good. He does a lot.
So do you think it was outdraft or just...
I think it just outplayed.
I think everyone, including us, underestimated the tree in that game, and most of the 20,000 people watching. That tree was the playmaker. PPD had some huge overgrowths and really set the stride for EG to turn things around.
Not to mention, Liquid, there was like 4 or 5 times where they, like, all those kills in Arteezy, they were ready to push mid, except first the waves got clear by the Timbersaw, and then secondly, the tree just living armored the tower back to full HP. They only got, like, I think it was 3 or 4 towers in the end. A lineup like that, you would have Juggernaut, Prophet, Chen with an early mech, Dazzle. I mean, that's like a just go take all the towers by 20 minutes kind of lineup normally.
Yeah, I also feel like Juggernaut just wasn't the ideal pick there. Like you were saying, they didn't push down to the tower, so he ended up playing hard carry. That was a Juggernaut with no scepter, which is
what if they had a Luna instead? Like, do you think that would have been different for?
Well,
Liquid,
the Searing Chains and the Sleight of Fist Spam was really annoying, and the Healing Ward was really nice for that, but I mean, that was only nice on like the first 15 minutes of the game, and they didn't even get enough towers.
I mean, what if that Jug was an Anti-Mage or a Spectre?
Luna or Anti-Mage would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Or I think Anti-Mage would have been best out of those.
Yeah.
Luna would have fit more better into their strategy, but I just still don't think they can end the game early versus that lineup. So they have to get a hero that scales really, really well with items.
And Jug just not quite as good as some of those other hard carries on that front. But
well, I just want to let everyone know, it looks like the Dota 2 network is down, at least for us, so we might have a bit of a delay before the next game. But
all right, so we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and keep discussing perhaps, or the next game will come back. We'll keep you guys updated as the Dota 2 network continues to go up and down. Game 2 of EG versus Liquid for the Starladder Season 9 American Playoff Grand Finals is here, and it will be coming up next, Game 2.